If instead of rebooting movies, retelling them from a different point of view became popular, which movie would you like retold? Et. From his point of view. The fuck this kid poking me for? I imagine E.T.'s voice actor with some deep voice just saying everything in a stereotypical black way. Terry Crews 3. Robin Hood from the Sheriff of Nottingham's perspective. It'd be great to watch a movie about a medieval cop trying to catch a highwayman. Apparently, the Russell Crowe Robin Hood movie was supposed to be this link. Bold outlaw. com/robin/reif. HTML. However, Ridley Scott rewrote the script. I've seen that dumb movie twice, and I couldn't tell you a single thing about it. So forgettable. Such a shame, because apparently that original script, called Nottingham I believe, was supposed to be one of the best scripts circulating Hollywood at that time. More info. Link. /film. com/WTF Russell Crowe cast as both Robin Hood and the Sheriff in Nottingham /link. /film. com/how Nottingham became Robin Hood screenwriter tells part of the story 500 Days of Summer would be really interesting to see Summer's perspective on everything. I once spoiled the movie for a friend. She said she was going to watch it and die, having already seen it. Asked is that the one where they all die in the end. She got a little upset because I spoiled it. A couple weeks later I saw her again, and she told me she was waiting the whole time for them to die but no one did. We had a good laugh. You've spoiled the ending for me. Now, I'm going to be watching this for the first time waiting for them all to live. You really should watch this movie though. Really great. The reality and expectations scene blew me away. Nice try, Disney. Who knows? Maybe some good ideas will get done, rather than the usual garbage. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from Willy Wonka's point of view. I want to hear his wicked thoughts. Wasn't the Johnny Depp one basically his point of view? That's what I thought. Funnily enough it would have made more sense if the two movies had their names swapped. Actually, I think the names are appropriate as they are. Charlie would name it Willy Wonka. And Willy Wonka would name it Charlie. I agree and believe this is a reason the latter movie is named like that. Aladdin. From Jaffar's perspective. A college theater group did a very R-rated version that is absolutely hilarious, which can be found on Yatabunda Twisted, the story of a Grand Vizier. What I would really enjoy is a late 80s/early 90s hand-animated Aladdin where Jafar is the defender of the Sultan's realm against some nefarious interloper who is bent on stealing the princess heart and worming his way into the royal family. And he has a genie. Fuck you Jafar, I don't like musicals and still this one was so good I keep bringing it up. Such a well done piece. Funny, dark and yet somewhat touching. I want to be a cat. What? Fuck you. I love this. My partner introduced it to me about a year ago. Yeah but told from the POV of the kid who was pulled out of a basketball game to be replaced by a dog. There's nowhere in the rule book it says you can pull me out, so a dog can play. Either. I want to see a new version, where the team they face in the championship brings in a tiger and forces the Dopey Rules Committee to accept that. Yes, there is an implicit understanding that the players must be human. Or, they just stick to precedent and the tiger destroys everything and everyone. Whatever. I like this idea. Teams continue to one-up each other with lethal animals until the sport of basketball morphs into a gladiatorial death match for trained killer beasts. Boom. Real life Pokémon is born. Gorilla. I choose you. An alien invasion movie told strictly from the aliens' perspective. Complete with their confusion about why the humans are responding the way they are. It would make sense to us, but would take the narrative form of mystery for them. It could be a clever way to illustrate cultural misunderstanding. An example could be let's show them we are friendly by revealing all our weapons. To demonstrate we aren't hiding anything, which the humans would take as a threat. I always liked that about the Borg on Star Trek. They genuinely thought they were helping the people they were conquering. A villain is scarier when it thinks it's doing the right thing. This is basically the book form of I'm Legend. They have been trying for decades to make the movie properly. God, what an amazing book. It's so dark but so believable. The same as the movie with Will Smith finding the cure to zombie disease? Yes and no. The book is very different in some very significant ways. The ending is very heavily changed, as in, the entire reason it's called I'm Legend doesn't exist in the movie. Everything about the dog is even more tragic. The woman he meets is more tragic. Everything about it is like they were like, yeah, I love this book. We just have to change all this super dark stuff to turn it into a movie people want to watch. And so we got that. Forrest Gump from Jenny's perspective. That would be a dark and fucked up movie. Who would play her father? And it'd be even worse running into Forrest every few years and he's happy and loving. Or that random time he comes into her car to punch that boyfriend of hers. Or that other time he punches a different boyfriend and completely ruins a Black Panther party. I want a movie and a book called Neville Longbottom and the Sword of Gryffindor about life in the school while the big three were wandering around the woods. This isn't exactly what you described, but there's a fantastic play called Puffs that covers all 7 years of Harry's time at Hogwarts from the perspective of the Hufflepuff students. When I made a trip to Nick a few years back to see some friends, I decided to see Puffs as a little addition to the trip. My friends ended up bailing on meeting up, but I still saw the play. I wasn't expecting much, but holy shit was it easily the highlight of my trip. To this day I quote it constantly with my other Puff friends who've seen it, and I generally regard it as more canon than The Cursed Child. Obligatory I'm not a threat, please be my friend. I want to see a superhero movie from the perspective of an insurance adjuster. It could be a comedy, but just like every day he wakes up and has enjoying his morning coffee and a bowl of oatmeal. Then he flips open the morning paper and sees Iron Man went full Michael Bay again, or the Avengers were back in town. Long sigh stands up, chair squeaks on floor, clicks pen straps iPad to hip, tightens camera strap, has a real superhero. There was a show called Powerless Link. imp.com/TT5,083,928/ that was pretty similar to that concept, about an agency that deal with the aftermath of the collateral damage from superhero/villain fights. It wasn't the best show, but I thought it was a cool idea. Unfortunately, it was cancelled after a season. I still think it's an interesting off, and I'd like to see someone else take a shot at it. I loved this aspect of The Boys that touched on this aspect of the fucking Supes. I would think Aliens from Newt's perspective would be pretty substantial. How a girl survived all that and the loss of her family alone on a foreign planet. There's a comic from Dark Horse that has done this. It's 2 issues long. Early 90s. Actually good. Aliens, Newt story. Star Wars as a goofy stormtrooper buddy cop comedy. Wasn't that the premise of Troopers on Yautab or something? You mean Troops, Link. B/2/3bsmzi. Troops predated the modern internet and anything we know as a streaming service. Troops came out pre-2000s and was passed around in painful MOV format. It was generated by a bunch of special FX artists going to the Vancouver Film School if memory serves. I'm remembering all this without googling it, so I may be full of shit, but I'm gonna go with it. I waited like an hour to download the whole thing at school, but it was too big to take home on a floppy. Shawshank Redemption told from the warden's point of view. IDK that may be too dark of a story. I'd like to think that the last thing that went through his head, other than that bullet, was how the hell Andy Dufresne never got the best of him. Apostrophe. Not after breakfast. Now. Or am I being obtuse? As a kid, that Cena introduced me to the word obtuse to mean other than the angle, and B taught me the power words can have. I want to see a Batman movie from a goon's point of view, like he wakes up and eats some cereal before meeting up with the crew, and just by chance he hung out with Joe the Goon that day instead of Bob. Now he is just gooning around at night when all of a sudden he gets his ass gets kicked in by fucking Batman. He can't believe his bad luck. And just like that, he was gone. Coolest fucked up thing to ever happen to him. Here is that exact thing link. B/till/Poc4. That was exactly it. How about Cloverfield from the view of a professional camera crew? Maybe they could do the burn movies too. A Lion King prequel from Scar's perspective. Show what really happened before the Mufasa era and see how Mufasa cheated Scar out of the throne. Scar's real name is Taka, which literally means garbage. Fucked up childhood. Wanna know how I got this scar? Not a movie, but I would definitely watch Breaking Bad, but from the perspective of Gus Fring. That dude has a crazy story to tell. I like that we get a little of that in Better Call Saul. Wait, I've got it. Breaking Bad but from the perspective of the lawyer. You're a goddamn genius. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.